Hi, my name is Josie and I'm going to be sharing a little bit about shirataki noodles with you today. I'm going to be preparing an Asian-inspired dish called ginger tahini noodles, and they've got a sweet but spicy finish on them, and they're garnished with some peanuts and chicken. They're delicious. First I want to talk a little bit about the shirataki noodles themselves. Not all shirataki noodles are the same. If you know about them, you know that they're wonderful because they have 0 calories, the pure shirataki, not the ones with tofu. They have 0 calories, 0 fat, they have a lot of soluble fiber, so they're a great way to get your noodle fix without feeling like you've eaten a bunch of worthless carbs. This particular brand, konjac shirataki noodles, is my favorite brand. I particularly appreciate the texture. For some reason, I'm able to get a lighter, fluffier kind of result with them, whereas with other brands I've tried, they tend to be a little heavier, limper, and wetter. So I'm going to use 4 packets here, and let's get them started. I've put 3 of the packets in here already. I'm going to open them up. Another thing about the shirataki noodles is they have kind of an earthy, sometimes even fishy odor to them. Don't let it scare you. It's not a big deal. There's no fish in them or anything to be concerned about. So you're going to open them up, you're going to put them in your colander, and then you're going to rinse them thoroughly. With some brands, you actually need to do a little parboiling. I found with the konjacCafe2 brand that just simply rinsing them thoroughly in warm water is totally sufficient. So let's do that now. Just kind of get in there and get them rinsed. It's kind of hard to describe. It's actually kind of like a fresh, earthy smell that these have when you open them up. Get them rinsed off. Then I'm going to cut them. You can use scissors. I just take 2 knives like so. Are you getting a nice view in there over top? And just kind of cut them up because they're pretty long when they first come out of the package. And then I like to just go in and kind of squish them. Just kind of squeeze the excess water out. And then let's set them to side to drain while we get our other stuff prepared. Come on over here. First we're going to work on our sauce. The sauce that we're actually going to season the noodles with. What I've got here is about 1/3 cup of soy sauce. You can use the low sodium if you like. I'm just using the Kikkoman here. A generous tablespoon of minced fresh ginger, finely minced. About 1 tablespoon of finely minced garlic. 1 tablespoon of sesame tahini. 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of red chili flakes for a nice little bit of zing. And then what I've used for a sweetener is my sweetener of choice, which is Truvia. And it's made of erythritol and stevia, which is natural, and I actually think it's quite pleasant, so that's what I've been using. You're going to put that in a little hand blender or your magic bullet or whatever you use, and you're going to zip that for maybe 30 seconds so that you know all your chili flakes are small enough you're not going to get any surprises. Then you're going to go ahead and set that aside, and you're going to get your garnishes ready. Actually, it's more than garnish because these garnishes add so much flavor to the finished plate that you want to be generous with them. So I've got about 1 cup of minced cilantro here, about 1/2 cup of finely chopped peanuts. I used salted roasted, but you can use unsalted, it's up to you. And then I've got about 1/2 cup of chopped green onions. These also add a wonderful flavor. Then for the actual garnish, I have sliced at an angle some fresh, cool cucumbers here. Now for the meat, what I have done is I took 4 large chicken thighs and I marinated them in basically the same sauce that I made here minus the tahini. And then I marinated them for about 30 minutes and I put them on a sizzling hot grill so you get that really nice char grill flavor on there. Then you're going to chop that up coarsely and set it aside. Okay, let's get our noodles going. Come on over here. These are still a little bit wet, but it's no big deal. Oops, hold on, let me turn that the wok on. Put that on high. And while that's heating up, you'll see here that they're still wet, but they have shape to them. They're not super limp. They're just fine. They're perfect for throwing in that pot. That's another thing I appreciate about the konjacCafe2 brand of shirataki noodles, is that for some reason they dry out enough in a shorter amount of time. It's something about the texture, and I'm not quite sure, but they really work well without having to, drain them on paper towels or anything like that. So they're much more convenient. Okay, let's take these over here. What I've got here is a sesame seed oil. I'm going to put just a little bit in here, just douse it in, not even a teaspoon. And get that real hot. You see that nice sizzle? That's how we're going to kind of sizzle that in there, and we're going to have the moisture evaporating. I just use a couple forks because I toss it. Get that oil flavor, the sesame flavor in there. The nice thing about these is they do not stick because they aren't starchy. They don't stick to the pan, so really it doesn't take much oil at all. The oil is more for the flavor. So we're just going to toss that in there. So get a nice overview of this. You can see when you do this, check that out. You don't have much moisture in there puddling, which is again what I love about this particular brand of the shirataki noodles. Okay, so you can see we've got it on the high heat and it's starting to get going there. I'm going to take our sauce. And this is about what it looks like. We've got the chilies floating in there, the ginger, all those good flavors. And we're just going to pour it over. Right? And then we're going to sit here and toss it. And as we toss it, it's coating the noodles, getting those great flavors all over the noodles. And this is what's great about the shirataki noodles. They don't have their own flavor. They're relatively flavorless. So sort of how tofu takes on the flavor of really the seasonings that you use with it, that's so with the shirataki noodles as well. So we're going to toss it, and as we toss it, the moisture that we had in the sauce and any residual moisture in the noodles is going to be, on that high heat, is going to be dissipating. So you'll see there's not much in there, but there's a little. So we're going to get that all nice and coated and tossed. If you wanted to start with a little less of the sauce, don't add it all in, you can do that and add more if you find that you need more flavor, because I tend to make my sauces low in volume and high in flavor because I don't like a real saucy result. I like a drier, flavorful result. That works best, in my opinion, with the shirataki noodles. Okay, so here we have the noodles, pretty well done. We're just going to go ahead and plate up. So let's do this. You'll be surprised at how delicious these are. My husband, who is not concerned about carbs or anything like that, says he could eat these all day long when they are prepared the way I prepare them. So we get a nice bed of the noodles there. Then we are going to take some of our cilantro and be generous. The cilantro with the noodles is just wonderful. Then we're going to go in with our green onions in there. And then we'll take some of our chicken, get our chicken on there, and then our peanuts. Get your peanuts right in there. And then take, again, be generous because you've got these cucumbers make a wonderful flavor accompaniment. So here you have it. You've got a delicious, healthy meal with basically 0 carbs in the noodles, all soluble fiber, and this is a wonderful light summer meal. So enjoy.